Welcome back to the channel, my spooky friends. I'm your host, Sam, and I'm here to fuel your nightmares. On this channel, we delve into the darkest corners of human experience, exploring the chilling true stories that keep you up at night. Today, we have two terrifying tales that will make you think twice before your next trip. These stories are not for the faint of heart. They are filled with eerie encounters, unexplained phenomena, and the chilling reality that sometimes the things that go bump in the night are all too real. So turn off the lights, grab your blankets, and prepare to be scared. These are two disturbing, true traveling horror stories. Imagine this. You're a young woman named Sarah, eager to escape the monotony of everyday life and reconnect with nature. You decide to embark on a solo backpacking trip through the remote and breathtaking Scottish Highlands. The air is crisp, the scenery is breathtaking, and the solitude is both exhilarating and slightly unnerving. As you set off on your journey, the sun casts long shadows through the ancient forests, painting an ethereal glow on the moss-covered stones and whispering pines. With each step, you feel a sense of peace wash over you, the weight of the world slowly lifting from your shoulders. You follow a winding trail deeper into the wilderness, the only sounds the chirping of birds and the crunch of leaves beneath your boots. The sun begins its descent, casting an orange hue across the sky. You know you need to find a place to set up camp before nightfall. After hours of hiking, you stumble upon a small clearing. Nestled between towering trees and overlooking a babbling brook, it seems like the perfect spot. You pitch your tent, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over you. As darkness envelops the forest, you build a small fire, the crackling flames providing a comforting warmth against the cool night air. The stars above twinkle like celestial fireflies, illuminating the vast expanse of the night sky. You lose yourself in their beauty, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. Suddenly a twig snaps in the darkness beyond the reach of your firelight. Your heart skips a beat. You listen intently, your senses on high alert. The sound is followed by another snap, closer this time. You tell yourself it's just a small animal, but a shiver runs down your spine. You add more wood to the fire, the flames reaching higher, casting flickering shadows that dance and writhe at the edge of the woods. You strain your ears, trying to identify the source of the noise, but the forest remains eerily silent. You try to shake off the feeling of unease, but it clings to you like a shroud. Hours pass, and the forest remains unnervingly quiet. You retreat to your tent, zipping the entrance closed, but sleep evades you. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of a branch sends a jolt of fear through your body. Then you hear it, a low growl, guttural and menacing, coming from just outside your tent. Your blood runs cold. You hold your breath, listening intently. The growl is followed by the distinct sound of heavy footsteps circling your campsite. Terror grips your heart as you realize you're not alone. Something is out there, something big and dangerous. You lie frozen in your sleeping bag, afraid to even breathe. Your mind races, trying to rationalize the situation, but there's no denying the evidence of your own ears. The footsteps continue to circle your tent, slow and deliberate, as if the creature is savoring your terror. You hear the sound of its heavy breathing, hot and fetid, just beyond the thin fabric of your tent. As quickly as it began, the noise stops. The creature outside falls silent. You lie awake for what feels like an eternity, too terrified to move, too terrified to even scream. The silence is almost as unnerving as the growls. You're trapped in a nightmare, your worst fears realized. Finally, as the first rays of dawn pierce through the darkness, you hear the creature lumber away. You wait what feels like hours, listening intently for any sign of its return. But the forest is silent. The only sounds the gentle chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. Cautiously, you unzip your tent and peer out into the daylight. The forest seems different now, menacing, as if the trees themselves are watching you. You quickly pack your belongings, your hands shaking with fear and adrenaline. You break camp and flee back down the trail, your heart pounding in your chest. Every shadow, every rustle of leaves sends a shiver down your spine. You don't stop running until you reach the familiar safety of the trailhead. You never return to the Scottish Highlands, haunted by the memory of that terrifying night. The experience changes you, leaving you with a profound sense of unease and a deep-seated fear of the unknown. The question of what stalked you that night remains unanswered, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved. Picture this, 4 friends, brimming with youthful exuberance, embark on a carefree road trip across the desolate, yet hauntingly beautiful Nevada desert. They are young, full of dreams, their laughter echoing through the car, a soundtrack to their adventure. They are blissfully unaware of the horrors that await them. The sun beats down on their beat-up convertible, the wind whipping through their hair as they speed down the seemingly endless highway. The miles melt away as they share stories, sing along to their favorite songs, and revel in the freedom of the open road. As the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the barren landscape, the friends decide to stop for the night at a roadside motel. The neon sign flickers, casting an eerie glow on the desolate surroundings. They check into their room, a dingy, cramped space with stained carpets and flickering lights. Despite the less than ideal accommodations, their spirits remain high. They are on an adventure, and nothing, not even a creepy motel, can dampen their enthusiasm. After a quick dinner at a greasy spoon down the road, they return to their room, eager to get some rest before continuing their journey in the morning. They chat excitedly about their plans for the next day, their voices filled with anticipation. As the night deepens, the friends drift off to sleep, exhausted from their day of driving. But their slumber is short-lived. A piercing scream cuts through the night, jolting them awake. One of the friends, a young woman named Emily, sits up in bed, her eyes wide with terror, her body trembling uncontrollably. She claims she saw something horrifying, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes staring at her from the corner of the room. Her friends try to calm her down, dismissing her experience as a bad dream. But deep down, a seed of unease is planted in their minds. They try to go back to sleep, but the atmosphere in the room has shifted. The air feels heavy, oppressive, charged with an unseen energy. Despite their best efforts, none of them can shake the feeling that they are not alone. Hours later, just as the first rays of dawn begin to peek over the horizon, they decide to leave the motel, their road trip excitement replaced with a gnawing sense of dread. They pack their belongings in silence, their earlier joy replaced with an unspoken fear. As they pile into the car, they notice something strange. The once bright and shiny vehicle is now covered in a thick layer of dust, as if it's been sitting in the desert for years. They try to brush it off, but it clings to the surface, an unsettling reminder of the previous night's events. They climb into the car, eager to put as much distance between themselves and the creepy motel as possible. But as they turn the key in the ignition, the engine sputters and dies. They try again and again, but the car refuses to start. Panic begins to set in. They are stranded in the middle of nowhere, their only lifeline to civilization, a hunk of metal that refuses to cooperate. As they desperately try to fix the car, they notice something even stranger. The once bustling highway, filled with the constant hum of traffic, is now eerily deserted. Not a single car passes by, not a single soul in sight. It's as if they are the only people left in the world. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, baking the desert floor, their situation becomes increasingly dire. They are out of water, their cell phones have no signal, and the relentless heat is taking its toll. They are trapped at the mercy of the unforgiving desert and something far more sinister. Just when their hope begins to dwindle, a beat-up pickup truck appears on the horizon. A grizzled old mechanic, his face weathered by years of sun and hardship, steps out. He eyes them suspiciously, but agrees to take a look at their car. As he tinkers under the hood, he mutters something about bad energy, about places where folks shouldn't go. They try to ask him what he means, but he just shakes his head and continues working. After what seems like an eternity, the engine roars to life. They shower the mechanic with their heartfelt thanks, their relief palpable. He gives them a stern warning to be careful, that some roads are best left untraveled, before climbing back into his truck and disappearing down the highway. They waste no time in following suit, their hearts pounding with a mixture of relief and lingering fear. They drive for hours, never stopping, never speaking, until they reach the familiar outskirts of civilization. They never speak of their terrifying experience again. But the memory of that night, the feeling of being watched, of being hunted, stays with them, a chilling reminder that sometimes the open road leads to places best left unexplored. So there you have it, two chilling tales of travel gone wrong. Remember, the world is full of mysteries, and sometimes the most terrifying destinations are just a road trip away. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales. And if you dare, share your own scary travel experiences in the comments below. Let's keep the nightmare alive. Until next time, my spooky friends, stay safe and beware of the unknown. Sweet dreams.